Hey friends, let's make a sewn trapper keeper. So this part of the video is going to show you how to make the shell. That's this outer part, and we're going to need that first before we construct anything else. So before we do that, let's get into some measurements. What you're going to need is two 12 by 12 pieces of paper and some 1/4 inch double-sided tape. We're going to attach these together. And then these are the measurements for the chipboard. If you want to go ahead and just screenshot that. This is what we're going to need. Two 6x8s, 1.5 by 8, 2.5 by 8, our papers, and our tape. Let's put it together. Okay, so the first thing I did, if you can see, is I attached my double-sided 1/4 inch tape along one of the edges of my 12 by 12, and I'm going to connect the two. And this is going to create a long piece of paper. Just make sure you line them up real good. Okay, and so now we've connected them. One long piece of paper. You can take your scoring tool and just press hard. We're going to need a scoring tool, some scissors, and some glue for this next step. This step is all about laying out your piece. So we're going to start on the left-hand side, one of our 6x8s. We're going to keep an inch everywhere, okay? Inch here. This is going to be a 1/4 inch. This is the spine, an 1/8 of an inch from the first 6x8. This is our seam. We're going to overlap that with another 6x8. You see that? Everything's about an inch here. We're keeping that inch here. And then over here, we're going to leave about 2 inches, 1.5, 2 inches here, and we're going to put this piece here, okay? And that's how you're going to lay it out. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece in a corner rounder, and I'm going to take off just 2 of the edges. Actually, I'm going to do the round one. 1, 2, okay? This is going to be the edge of the trapper keeper. Alright, so again, I'm going to find that 1.5, 2 inch spot. I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to glue everything down. Double check your measurements before you glue. Okay, so this is it, glued down on paper. Notice we still have the inch around the edges, 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch between here on the spine, 1.5 to 2 inches here, depending on how big you want your flaps to be. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the rest of this. I don't need the excess, so I'm going to keep that 1 inch border around everything, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here it is. This is the beginning of the shell. It is all cut out. The next step is to go ahead and score everything. After it's been given a second to dry, you just want to come in and start bending all the edges. Don't bend this here. You only want to bend along the cardboard. This is we're going to score, or I'm going to show you what we do with this. This is going to be the flap. So you're going to do that, and then when you get along these edges, it's kind of easy to use a scoring tool and just go around it. It makes the folding up smooth, easier, and crisp. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. I'm back just to show you a quick tip. You really want to make sure you score into these areas here, or if you can't score, I put my fingernail in it. What you want to do is push the paper down into that crease. The other thing that I recommend when you do these is this is the outer shell. So if you're using a thinner chipboard, make sure you use a heavy-duty cardstock to cover it. It really does help with the overall durability of the book. So the thicker the cardstock, like this is pretty flimsy here on the outside. So the thicker the cardstock on the outer shell really does make it more durable. And again, don't forget to score really well into your seams here, as well as the seams here. So when this is folded over, this is sticking down and looking really sharp and clean. This is what's going to make your book look nice, this step. Just making it going slow and really making sure that you're covering the creases and things well. Okay? The next steps is gluing down the sides. But before we do that, we're going to cut away this corners here, where the pointy corners are. Cut out these squares. We don't need them. And cut out these squares. Okay? So you're just going to go, let's see if I can do this for you. There. and there. Okay, do that on these two sides. And then on these corners, we're gonna do something a little different. So these we're gonna make eyelashes. And what I wanna do with this is I really want to get this corner that's rounded to lay nicely. So I'm making little slits all around that edge on both ends. And what we're gonna do with that, all the way up to the cardboard. Don't cut the cardboard, just come to the cardboard. And what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna glue these down first. Okay? When you glue them down, we're just gonna push them in like that and to make a rounded edge there. Okay? So I'm gonna glue all my stuff together and I'll meet you back here. All right, folks, and here we're back with our shell. So it's gonna look something like this. We haven't done anything with this curve yet. So when it's glued in, front, spine, back, flap. Okay? And again, make sure that you really get into these creases here so they lay flat. It's going to help with your construction looking nice. And then when it comes to the curve, this is the flap. So technically, you see how it just kind of curves when you close it already? We really want to stay with that curve. Now, there's a few ways you can do this. You can do this with a ruler and a scoring tool, and you can make lines every 1/8 of an inch all the way down. Just score it, and what that does is help with your curve. Or you can just manipulate it. You know, you can just do a little zhuzh. I like to get in here with my fingers and just kind of curve it. Don't crease it, you just want to curve it. Okay? And it just helps you manipulate the side there. You don't need to do it heavy. Okay? So that's that. This is the shell of a book, of a beginning of a Trapper Keeper. Okay? If you want to see a long form of this, I do have it on YouTube. You can just go check that out. And you can see every step as I do it. This is just a quick tutorial. So I'm going to stop here today. You can make your shell, and then you can meet me back for part 2 on how we put this all together and make this super fun sewn kind of Trapper Keeper. Okay? All right. Happy crafting.